All right, how's it going today? Happy Monday, happy start of the new week. I think it's President's Day today. So shout out to those that were able to kind of get the day off and are here kind of working hard to, see if they can kind of capitalize on this new occurring cycle that we're currently in. Yeah, just getting into some NPOC levels. So currently we did have one NPOC print from yesterday, and that was at 51821. And that's why I was kind of sending you guys a short-term directional bias chart over in the Telegram today. I think we were kind of sitting around here and I said, don't be surprised if we retest this area. It's just a short-term directional bias candle, looking for that to kind of close. I'm not really sure. I'm not really looking to kind of long this. I'm not really looking to short this or anything, but it was just kind of like a short-term directional bias. Again, you can use higher leverage to kind of short to kind of capitalize on some of these trades as well, but we did get a close of this area and it turned to a daily point of control for now. And let's just kind of zoom out and see what we have going as far as NPOC levels here. So we do have some to the downside, obviously some to the upside. This is kind of one of those tough areas, right? Because we're kind of in this 20% range between NPOC prints, one at 47340 and 56851. But again, all this means is that we just kind of continue to create our setups and just kind of go from there, right? So I think I have this one already created to long it, but we can, continue to go again. I think that, coming down in this area is the next area of interest for me to kind of long if we do get a decent retest. I just think that it makes the most sense. Obviously this is an area too that was resistance once, come back down, retest that resistance, it's now support, and then we can kind of move from there. So again, I'm just going to go over this and kind of create these setups here for you guys. So this is going to be the next long entry. Again, like I said, we've kind of talked about this before last stream, but this is the long that we're looking at here, guys. That's the next area of interest for me on BTC. And then again, the next area of interest for me to short, not really willing to short here, but it's again, I think we, kind of have this mapped out already as well. Just kind of map this one out here. This is the next area of interest for short for me on BTC. So, BTC is just getting overextended. There's nothing wrong with it, right? This is kind of what we want. In my opinion, I just want BTC to kind of go sideways, kind of start chopping around again. But, for me, if we just hold these highs and we continue to go between, maybe 52 and 48 can kind of range, and we can let really Ethereum catch up and the rest of the markets kind of catch up, it'd be great. So this is the next area of interest for me on shorting, guys. Again, you kind of know what all this is from. This is kind of just taking those NPOC levels, creating areas of interest to long and creating areas of interest to short, but then being able to react at that area, right? So it just obviously makes sense that a retest of here would be something that we would want to be logging into. Again, just keeping these setups here so that we can stay at bay and continue to look for longs down in this area if we get them, instead of, flipping bias or that sort of thing. That's really all we're looking for on NPOC, guys. We have some other targets, again, if we do get these areas, the 42,000, it's going to be something that, I'm going to be looking to long again. They've been NPOC prints for a while. I'm not saying that a correction is going to happen just quite yet. I think that there's, much higher that we could see, but obviously we have some NPOC prints. I think that these are the highest NPOC prints from the deviation last time to that 69,000. This is really the last cluster of NPOC prints. Again, I've been mapping these out for years. 66,643 and 65856. Those are the last NPOC above head if we can clear 5-6. I do not want BTC to start stealing the show. I still would like Ethereum and altcoins to catch up. I mean, there's a couple different scenarios, right? Let's just say BTC does steal the show again, right? And altcoins and Ethereum kind of just continue to lag like they've kind of been doing this whole move up. Well, then maybe this is just kind of like compressing ETH and altcoins for an even bigger move higher. There's definitely different ways to go about it. For me, I did take some leverage profits into these highs of BTC and Ethereum currently. For me, there was just good profit on the table. Wanted to lock it in. And then again, guys, I'm a trader. Can we look for another re-entry? Can look for a retest. And that's what we're doing with some of these setups here. If we get this retest lower, that's going to be an area of interest to long. And if we continue to just go high up here at that 56, maybe that's another area that we can start to look, for some shorts. Just kind of continuing to just roll the punches here and see how things end up playing out. I think that's the great thing about trading, and that's the great thing about being able to capitalize on this sort of stuff. BTC does like to run a lot harder than people think, and it also likes to fall a lot harder than people think. So just when you think the top is in or the bottom is in, there's usually some sort of catalyst or something that'll kind of just like dog leg it higher or lower one more time. But we'll kind of just have to see. We do have targets higher. We do have some targets lower if we get the retest. As far as like being bullish, 100%, I just want to be bullish and everything to go up, all the way up to all-time highs. But if things do turn, we have to have a plan. And that's exactly what we're doing with this, short down in this area. If things do happen to fall off or, a little bit of a retrace, maybe someone takes profits somewhere, I don't really know. And we just see like a little flash dump. This is looking for those areas to re-add on into those positions and look for a little bit higher. Going over into Ethereum, guys, NPOC prints. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to kind of talk about. I would love lower if we got it, but I just don't know if we're going to get it. So let's just create this setup too for you guys here. So if we do come down long this area, this would be an area of interest to long for me. And just going through live with you guys, how I create my setups, how I create, where my long and short entries are for Ethereum and BTC. So that's our next long entry. And then I think they have the short. Yeah, so this has been the short for a while, has been up at that 3003. So this is, again, going to still stay the same, not going to have another setup just because, I'm not going to continue to make the same one. But yes, we have been looking to short this area 3003. And I think it makes sense, right? Deviation above 3000, break of 3000, whatever. Maybe we just get a short retest from here, something along the lines of we kind of tap into that, maybe go a little bit lower and then next move higher, something like that. Maybe the NPOC print above gets printed right around this area, and then once we climb to that one, close that one, retest back down, that's where you can look for your entry point, and then we move higher. So again, trying to look for those areas of interest where you can get a little bit of a discount on your longs and a discount on your short, right? Because if you're long in here or into 3000, you want to still be patiently waiting for an entry lower. So that is currently what we're looking for on Ethereum. Not going to overthink it, not going to talk about it too much. We have lower, we have higher, very, very basic setups as far as Ethereum goes. But it does seem at this point, guys, that 3000 is somewhat programmed, right? I just think it's very obvious that we're going to be touching and hitting in this area soon. Yeah, so Sui's just massive. For me, it's very, very tough to tell you guys how to trade Sui just because I'm just long from so much lower. But we can always, just see if we can find some basic support and resistance levels. But just looking at it now, I think that a Sui retest of $1.64 is a good area of interest to buy. We had a rejection of a double top here, come back down, retest this area, and we could potentially go and break all-time highs of that $2, $2.10 range. Again, I am long from all the way 38 cents. I am holding this, not going to sell too soon. Like I said, really trying to capitalize on this next cycle, all these next opportunities that are going to happen. If you guys think that the markets have been hot now, just in my opinion, they're just going to get so much hotter. I just think that overall, where price discovery kind of is, where BTC is sitting compared to where a lot of people just aren't really talking about crypto as much as you would think they would be, as BTC is starting to somewhat approach all-time highs. I just think that there's so much more and so much higher that we can go. Yeah, INJ, I mean, quick glance, it kind of just looks like a bull flag pennant forming, however you want to call it. I'm not one for pattern trading, guys. I'm really not, but you could argue that it's a breakout retest and then can potentially bounce from here. Retest these highs of current range. Median ML is a confluence level. Pretty straightforward here on this one if you're long. So one thing that you can note is it did kind of break out from this trend line, and then we do have a retest, and it did break over median ML and a retest of median ML, and then we can continue to move higher. So again, I don't think I'm going to trade this after being stopped out on my initial trade, but again, might jump into it if the signals, call for it. But I do appreciate you guys as well, always being interested in the Castillo AI trading. It is something that I'm working very hard on, and a lot more to come. But yeah, subscribe to me on YouTube, guys. The editors are doing a great job getting good content out there, and I hope that you guys are killing it within this coming month and into this coming cycle. And again, like always, I will see you guys over in the Telegram. Peace.